Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for How to Get Away with Murder, Season 6, Episode 7. So let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so Flirt Inferno is trying to set up a date with Annalise. She's been holding him at arm's length, and it's been a month now, so it's about time. She said, look, with everything else that goes on in our lives, aren't you tired of trying to get to know somebody and do all of that again? But he's talking to her, and suddenly Annalise is hearing some banging at the door, okay? And it sounds like they're trying to fucking kick the door down. So she gets up, and she's just like, wait a minute, stay on the phone. He was like, is everything okay? And no, it's not okay. She goes and gets her gun out the safe, and then she's like, who is it? And she says, oh, I'm sorry. Is this the penthouse? I'm looking for my Airbnb. Bitch, you about to get shot. Okay? But of course I didn't trust that. In How to Get Away with Murderland, there are no coincidences. I said, that bitch is up to something. But Annalise says, no, the penthouse is across the way. That's probably the one that you want. She's relieved. I wasn't. We see Gorgeous Gabe. He's contemplating buying a gun. I'm not quite sure why. Does he not feel safe? I didn't understand why he was doing that. And then we see the Keaton 5-1. They have put up surveillance cameras around the house. Now, if the Castillos decide to come and kidnap somebody else, they got proof, they got cameras around, they ain't gonna get caught up this time. As for Asher and Michaela done shut them down. She said she's laser focused on exams. Asher over there looking like a wounded puppy. Did you really think you was getting back together with him or with her? He was so stupid. And then we see Bonnie. Fine as Frank is there working out. Even though he get on my nerves, he was looking good. He told her he was getting ready for her whenever she was ready. Okay, she just looks at him. I said, girl, you might need to get you a little taste. Now in class, Gorgeous Gabe is now running the class today. He's going to be the first chair on this restorative justice case. And this case is a teacher who shot a kid, brought a gun to school, shot this kid that he thought actually was about to shoot him, so I guess he's got like some underlying PTSD from all the other shootings that's gone on in the world. He's trigger happy or what do they call it? Gun shy? No, it's not gun shy. It's trigger happy, and shot the boy when the boy was not about to shoot him. And the teacher feels this overwhelming guilt and just wants to give up and is just like, I deserve everything that I get because the kid didn't do anything to me. I thought it was funny when he had Michaela come up there and Michaela didn't want to do it and Annalise was like, get up. She's so damn rough, you guys. Anyway, so Annalise and Gorgeous Gabe are there to help this man fight this case. He doesn't want to do it. They're saying that you must do this. Okay, now the only people that they have left to convince are the grandparents of the victim. And the grandparents are not really with this whole case being heard. They just want his ass to go to jail. So Asher throws out there the best way to do this is to speak from the heart. He'd be willing to talk to the grandparents about, his dad's suicide. Annalise thinks this is a good idea. Meet me in my office. We'll talk about it. After that, Annalise goes to the firm and she sees that Steen and Real Nice Nate are working together. She was just like, what is going on here? Didn't y'all just hate each other the day before yesterday? Yeah, well, what a difference 2 days make. Steen is going to help him file this wrongful death lawsuit. They're blaming it on the governor. Annalise was like, are you fucking crazy? Okay, she will come after you. This is the same people that killed Emmett, whose office that we're standing in. He's not here, remember? And she's gonna dig up stuff that I'm sure you don't want anything dug up on, right? Hello? Ron. Of course, Steen doesn't know what she's talking about, but Real Nice Nate does. He flashes back to when he beat him to death with his own bare hands. But that's not stopping Real Nice Nate. He tells Annalise, you have no say. This is Steen's call. They filing this case whether you want to get with it or not. So, of course, Annalise can't let this happen. She goes back and she tells Fine Ass Frank, yeah, we can't do this. They'll find out everything about Ron and the fact that he was innocent. Fine Ass Frank was like, I told you this was going to happen. She said, it's not going to happen because I need real bad Fine Ass Frank to come out right now and scare the hell out of Steen. And I'm talking about scare her good. And he says he's on it. And in the meantime, Steen is in the office with Real Nice Nate trying to find out, just tell me all the dirt. Whatever it is that you've done in the past, I need to know it now because it's better to come out now than when we, get knee deep into this case. And of course, Real Nice Nate is sketchy. Fool, you want her help, but you don't trust her to tell her anything. I mean, I guess he really can't say anything without incriminating himself. But this is your defense lawyer. Well, she's not really his defense lawyer. But you know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, while she's sitting there trying to talk to him, here come this damn Bonnie. She said, girl, if you don't get your fucking ass up out of here, you know, Real Nice Nate, I called her. I don't give a damn who called who. I fired her. Bonnie was just like, well, Steen, I'm sorry. And better yet, I can help you win this case. Bonnie always got that extra. Baby, Bonnie is confident. Then she get up in there and fuck shit up all the time. I was just like, okay, Miss Cold Ass, if you ain't gonna believe in yourself, who will? So I guess this is the dream team. Steen, Bonnie, and Real Nice Nate. Jumping over to Asher, he goes and talks to the grandparents with Annalise. I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know how much you would have to talk to me to try to forgive this man for what he did. The whole idea of restorative justice, while I understand it on paper, in reality, I don't know how this would have worked on me. Because the grandparents want the teacher to get life in prison. They didn't kill their grandbaby. And that's really all that it is. But they're just like, you should speak your mind too. You know, the grandfather looked like he might be a little bit more with it than the granny. Okay. But the granny is just like, hell fuck nah. Like, I don't really have nothing else to say other than the fact that his ass need to go to jail. And damn it, he already said that he was guilty. So what is the discussion about? They said, well, you know, he was acting in self-defense. And this is going to be better if we can have the hearing, because it's not going to just be the teacher that's going to get raked over the coals. We're going to also dig into Ryan's life, and all of the good and bad things that he's done is going to come out. Ryan wasn't no angel. Okay, so this is kind of a way for you to have something to say to kind of protect your family too. So later on, we see they go back to the office. Asher is bragging about the fact that they got the grandparents on. And, you know, Asher is his usual annoying self. I just was like, I don't understand why everybody gets on my nerves so much this season. What did they do to these characters to make it's so slight? You know, I can't really say what exactly was the shift, but just everybody gets on my fucking nerves. And this whole fight over Michaela between him and Gorgeous Gabe is just. But whatever, enough about that. The hearing. So, like Annalise said, we are talking to the students, and the students are talking about Ryan. The bad parts of Ryan: he's a bully, you know, he's an asshole. He always act up in class, okay, and even talked about bombs in the past. So, you know, it was just, they all just figured it was a matter of time. You know, when he came in the room cutting the fool, and then reached into his backpack, we all just thought that, okay, this is it. You know, he about to blast the flat jammy, you know, and the teacher was like, you ain't gonna get me. That's when he went and got his gun and shot him. Then turns out it was Ryan pulling out a telephone. Okay, so all the kids are saying that the teacher was just really acting in self-defense. He thought that it was going to be a gun. Now, one of the teachers said, yeah, he probably did think that the gun was coming out. But yeah, it was a phone. And on the phone, it looked like he was about to show everybody that the teacher had a gay profile on an online dating app. And the teacher is like, I'm sorry, David. That's the teacher's name. But, you know, I can't help but think that because this is a Catholic school, maybe you shot him because you didn't want your secret to come out, you know, that you were gay. So now Annalise got to go back and talk to the teacher, because we didn't cover this part. You know, she was just like, so was you sleeping with the boy? Oh, God, no. Okay, well then, what did you shooting him for? Well, how did the boy know that you was gay? He said, well, he had detention once and he was in the class and he looked at my phone, a message had come through, and that's how we found out. So now this is something else that didn't been introduced to David, or at least, you know, now this is something else that he need to contemplate about the reasons why he did what he did. And Elise was like, please don't do anything stupid tonight, you know. And David says, I'm not. All right. Okay, good. Because we just need you to sleep, because we got to go back to this hearing tomorrow. Okay. Then she tells Gorgeous Gabe, put his ass on suicide watch. Okay. Because we don't need him waking up dead. Okay. So later on that night, the Keaton 5-1 are sitting around talking about this case, restorative justice. And somehow it turns into a discussion about the things that they've done in the past. Asher wants to talk about it. Nobody else wants to, though. Okay. He says, I still don't even know what you did to Sam. And you don't need to know. Michaela's like, I don't even want to talk about it. She gets up and she leaves. I was just like, fool, the house could be bugged. Okay, why are you talking about this so freely? Write that shit down if you just must know. But while they in there talking, Gorgeous Gabe, he's frantically knocking at the door. Michaela! Okay, he needs to talk to her. And he was like, I know you told me to stay away, but you know what? Today is hard and I just need to talk to somebody. I know you mad at me, because your father came around, a month ago. So now we find out that this is actually a month later than last week. The father came around a month ago, and now the father done left again. And she's bitter, and he was the one that told her to look for the dad in the first place. He just needs to talk to her. He's feeling bad. He feels like it's his fault that David might get even more time. And she says, it's not your fault. You can't put this on you. He said, see, that's why I need you. I said, baby, anybody could have told you that. You don't need Michaela. And she was just like, no, you don't need me like that. Okay, you smart. You can handle these things on your own. You would figure it out with or without me. But you know what? I need some space. He says, why? What happened? Okay, he just doesn't understand. Things was not that bad as far as he was concerned. And she was just like, I just need you to honor what I need at the time, which is some space from you. I said, girl, you having a debate with yourself between Gorgeous Gabe and Asher? I mean, you probably ain't gonna end up with neither one of them, but at least get the one that's fine. And speaking of fine, Bonnie is working at the house, and Fine Ass Frank walks in and he's like, what are you doing? And she says, I'm working on the wrongful death suit. And he was like, Real Nice Nate is a fool if he thinks that he needs to open up that can of worms. Bonnie says, look, he was going to do it regardless. Okay, I guess this is her way of at least being involved enough where she can maybe control some things if she needs to. Her number one goal is to protect Annalise. He was like, fine, whatever. I'm about to get in the shower, though. You want to come? She was like, boy, good night. I was like, oh, he is just so, ugh. Fine and ugh. Now, Annalise told Fine Ass Frank she needs a bad Fine Ass Frank, right? The real creepy, scary one. Okay? This Fine Ass Frank that we got now is nothing like the bad Fine Ass Frank that we had back in seasons 1, 2, and 3, honey. That was the one that I was looking for. That ain't the one that we got, child. Now, we see Steen. She walking to her car. Nigga, it is nighttime. The damn garage is abandoned as usual. I was like, who the fuck worked in that building? Nobody. I mean, I guess they just can't be bothered with having people in the background. So she walks up to her creepy, dark-ass car, and she gets inside, and, honey, it's a USB, like a zip drive taped to her steering wheel. And that's enough to spook her. She takes the USB back, and she looks, and she's showing Annalise that it's pictures of Cora. Random pictures around the town looking like somebody is following her, surveilling her. And she was just like, the Castillos are trying to scare us. They found out about it. They then looked into the servers and saw what we're trying to do with this wrongful death suit. And now they threatening to kill Cora. Annalise was like, well, I told you. Okay, do I have to say it? She was like, Annalise, you the one told me to fight back. She said, I told you to fight back. I didn't mean for you to go and help Real Nice Nate. I just told you to, take a day in his shoes. I said, Annalise, you need to be a little bit more clear in your coercing. She want to call Cora, and Annalise was like, don't. She gently guides Steen into not taking this case on. And then, of course, later on, we see Annalise talking to bad Fine Ass Frank, and she says, okay, it worked. They're not filing the case now. She's spooked. She's scared about the Castillos. Fine Ass Frank says, oh, bad Fine Ass Frank is what he do best, okay? And then the nigga go and tell her that, he done lost the love of his life. And she was like, who, Laurel in her eyebrows? He says, no. And she says, who, Bonnie? Oh, my God. She was like, I don't even want, listen, Fine Ass Frank. Whatever the fuck you going through, you about to hurt this girl. Like, good and damn well that is not the love of your life. Cut it out. Then he want to wax poetical on Annalise. What's the sense in fighting to stay alive if you're just going to die alone? I said, oh, shut up. Shit. But I guess what he said must have, touched Annalise in some witcher kind of way, because she calls Flirt Inferno when she gets home and she says, okay, the date tomorrow night, you set it up. Okay. She tired of fighting. And Flirt Inferno is with. Now the next morning, Steen goes and tells Real Nice Nate and Bonnie that, the Castillos found out about what she was trying to do. And, they threatening to kill Cora, and she just can't put Cora in that danger. So she's sorry, but she ain't going to be able to do it, dog. So I was just like, oh, I guess all's well that ends well. And then we jump back to Annalise and seeing Gorgeous Gabe and her speaking to the grandparents, again, wanting them to get this apology from the teacher. And Granny, I'm telling you, she ain't with it. She lost a daughter. And this was the grandson the only piece left of her daughter that she had, and now he's done. Now he's dead. And so she just feels like she has lost everything. So she ain't really feeling it in her heart to even give him the chance to apologize. Annalise says, I understand. I had a baby that I lost in a hit and run. Okay, and I didn't even go and try to find out who was responsible for that. I said they threw that out there, you guys, because that's going to come up in some future episodes, I'm sure. But when she said that, Gorgeous Gabe didn't know anything about it. He kind of looked over at her like, wow. So when they left, Gorgeous Gabe was like, the baby that you lost, was that with Sam? And she was like, oh, your nosy ass mama didn't tell you that? He said, so is that when you guys started having problems? They said that nothing affects a marriage worse than if you lose a child. And she was like, well, I mean, they've been together 40 years, talking about the grandparents. She was like, listen, Gorgeous Gabe, I know that the reason why you so hell-bent on this case is because you want David to be able to do what you wish you can do about your mother's boyfriend. And he denies that. But Annalise was like, okay, I ain't been in this position just to not know what I'm talking about. So then we go back to the hearing. Okay, and the grandparents, I guess, have now decided that they are going to go through with this whole thing. And they are giving their story. The grandfather is saying that he really does want to forgive David. He just is having a hard time doing it because he shot his grandson. The grandfather is fighting between forgiving and not forgiving this man. Well, not Granny. Granny was just like, you killed my grandson because he knew that you was gay. Did you want to be with him? Okay. She tearing into him. Like, she has no forgiveness in her heart. She wants his ass to go to jail for life. Okay, because all she gonna be doing is suffering. But if he suffers in jail for the rest of his life, then damn it, she gonna feel a little bit better about that. I said, I can't see how any of this is helping. I don't understand this restorative justice thing. So that didn't go well, if you ask me. So when they get a little break and Annalise go back there to talk to David, he was like, I told you this wasn't a good idea. Again, he's back on that. I want to go to jail for the rest of my life. Whatever they want to give me, they can give it to me because I'm guilty. Maybe I did try to kill the boy because he found out that I was gay. I mean, I was mad about it. And now that I think about it, maybe it was just all of this. I don't think I killed him before because of that. But knowing that in the back of my mind that, he had some shit on me, maybe that was part of it. And he tells everybody that when he goes back in there to say his side, okay? He wishes that he could take the grandparents' suffering and make it his own. He is definitely confessing that he's guilty and he's just sorry. There's nothing else that he can do about that, okay? So they get a little break. Michaela, waiting for Gorgeous Gabe to come out, she walks up to him. Oh, Gorgeous Gabe, I need to talk to you, He's like, what's going on? And she says, I broke up with you because I cheated on you with Asher. It only happened one time, but, I'm sorry. And that's why I broke up. And, Gorgeous Gabe is looking like, what? I said, I know, Gorgeous Gabe. Asher of all people. And then speaking of Asher, he walks up and says the judge is about to give the sentencing. So they go back inside and the judge gives the man 25 years, okay? And it's just like, we done been through all of this for the man to get exactly what they said that they was going to get. I was just like I said, I just honestly didn't understand what was the reasoning of all of this. But afterwards, Gorgeous Gabe was saying the same sentiments to Annalise, and she said that was the best taxpayer money ever spent on a case like this. Okay, so don't you feel bad about anything. David's going to jail immediately. The case is over. When Gorgeous Gabe goes back out, he catches up with Michaela and he says, Michaela, listen, I don't even care about what happened with you and Asher because that nigga is just like, we don't even have to worry about him. Asher says the fact that you don't even care, that you're not pissed about this means that you don't care about her. And Gorgeous Gabe was like, see, we ain't gonna do all this talking. And he busts that nigga right in the right here. And then next thing you know, it's this big old squabble. Now, we in the courthouse. Michaela trying to stop it. And Connor's like, will you guys stop it and all that? And I was just like, beat his ass, Gorgeous Gabe. But whatever, enough about that. This date that Annalise has with Flirt Inferno. She goes over to the house. He got it all romantical. Okay, we ain't going out. It looked like he got food in. He cooked or something. He got candles everywhere. It's all nicely set up. And Annalise can appreciate that. I guess this is a way for them to get to know each other even better. Annalise was like, listen, Flirt Inferno, why are you doing all of this? Okay, all this is real nice and everything, but you don't know me, and I definitely don't know you. Like, what are we going through all of this for? And the whole thing is Flirt Inferno wants to get to know her. You know, she's worth this time, this effort. So he feels like the love that he has, he can share with her. And she was like, baby, you ain't ready for this jelly. Okay, I don't think you ready. And he's willing to try. He was like, Annalise, don't you miss being close, being touched by someone? And Annalise was like, yeah, I mean, I do think about it every now and then. I just don't tell nobody. He says, okay, well, let me do that for you. You know, now all of a sudden the blues music is playing in the background. He want to dance. Okay, I said, oh, you guys know when Annalise get some dancing in her, what happened? You know, so I was like, brother, man, you done made the best step here. All right, so she gets on up and, you know, they start dancing. He was like, you know, you leading, right? Relax. Okay, let me lead you. I'm the man, you the woman. Okay, she's like, okay. Oh, poor Annalise. She don't know how to be, you know, vulnerable unless she got some drink in her. Then, you know, it's all bets off. Okay, and speaking of drink, we see Steen. She at the office again. It's empty. Nobody there. It's dark, you know, drunk, calling Cora. Leaves a message. Hey girl, I know I said I ain't want to talk to you, see you no more, but I just want to make sure you still alive. So please call me and let me know. Okay. Then she called Annalise. Hey girl, you know, you down to hang out tonight? I ain't got shit else to do. I said, no, girl, your girl is over there about to get us some. And I guess we see Bonnie about to get some too. You know, Finance Frank over there cooking and everything. I said, girl, go on and fuck him. I mean, you know, y'all all fixing to go to jail anyway. You might as well get a little happiness out of this man sitting up in your house every damn day. He tells him that she's still working on the wrongful death lawsuit. And he was just like, what? Okay, flashes back to the conversation that Real Nice Nate had with Steen and Bonnie. And that was not enough to stop Real Nice Nate. Yeah, Steen, you ain't got to be the lawyer no more, but Real Nice Nate is still putting this case through. Bonnie, I'll be your lawyer. All right, so she can go and fuck up something else, you guys. But what was so crazy to me was the fact that she hated Real Nice Nate just recently. It hasn't even been that long, and now all of a sudden, you know, you want to step in and help Real Nice Nate because of the pain that he's been through. So I was just like, oh, this is all very ironic, you know, and Steen is just kind of looking like y'all can have that shit because, honey, she ain't trying to fuck around with the Castillos. Finance Frank was like, I thought you wanted to move on. I mean, Xavier almost killed me. You know, he's going on and on about how bad the Castillos are. And she was like, I already filed it, Finance Frank. It's done. And so they done named the governor, right? The governor, we see her. She's looking. She was like, a wrongful death. Oh, who the fuck is this bitch? Okay, Bonnie. And her aide says, well, that's Real Nice Nate's lawyer. Okay. She said, get everything you can on this hoe. And he says, you got it. So after he leaves the governor, he calls a woman on the phone. Hey, you still in Philly? Guess who's the woman he's calling? Old girl that was trying to get in Annalise's penthouse. Yeah, where else would I be? And he says, yeah, I need you to send me the Miss Cold ass file. And she says, okay, I'll get that to you right away. I said, I knew it was something up with that lady. There's no coincidences in How to Get Away with Murderland. And then, you guys, we see Connor and Asher. You know, Connor is being creepy and watching Asher on the surveillance cameras and not really understanding what's going on there. But Connor comes in the room and, you know, since Asher talked about, you know, how they need to talk about what happened, he's feeling some kind of way. So he comes in and he tells Connor tells Oliver, all these names, you know, get off the computer. I want to tell you something, you know, and Oliver closes the computer and he says, I never did tell you kind of what happened with Sam. And Oliver was like, you don't have to tell me, but whatever you do tell me, you know, I'm always going to love you. He said, oh, really? Well, I'm the one that put Sam in the processor. Yeah, nigga, I chopped him up. I said, Oliver was looking at him like, see, because let me tell you something. It's one thing to know that your man probably was aiding and hiding the body. You know, he kind of helped carry the body over to another location and all of that. Nigga, we don't want to know that you chopped him up. You chopped him up? I know Oliver was like, yeah. How do you still love somebody when they tell you some shit like that? How can you get so close to somebody that you can chop somebody up? You know, of course, you got to be in that same situation. You will never understand what you can do until, you know, you feel like you have no choice to do something. Oliver will never experience that, at least not as of right now. And so he looking at Connor like, motherfucker, you is crazy. Okay? And then we flash forward to the future. Oliver is still alive. I was just like, oh, no. No. Okay? And he's just looking like terrified, just standing there. You know how they do. And Finance Frank rushes in. So now we know that Oliver is still alive and Finance Frank. Who does that leave left? Real Nice Nate and Gorgeous Gabe. Oh my God, you guys, if Gorgeous Gabe is dead, I'm going to be so hurt for him. But it's starting to look like it might be him. Finance Frank rushes in and he says, come on, Oliver, you know, it's going to be okay. Come with me. And right when he's walking out, kind of zombified, you know, he snaps to and then he just rushes back up. It's me. I'm guilty. I'm the one. Arrest me. I was just like, I was really thinking that it was Oliver that was dead. But Oliver's not dead either. So it might be Gorgeous Gabe, you guys. Because Real Nice Nate is really not important enough to me, to any storyline to, you know, to be dead. Like, that wouldn't be no big shocker if he's the one. Maybe it's the governor. Definitely not Annalise. They still not pulling that one over on me. But anyway, you guys, that was it. It was good. All right, rock stars, we're gonna run in here, give me something to eat, and take it on back to work. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.